Hi, I'm Aimee Garcia, and you're listening to Chris Gordon, Hellblazer Biz.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, listeners, wherever you are in the world right now. This is the one, the only Hellblazer Biz, with your host, as always, Chris Gordon. My guest today is from an exceedingly great TV show which is on at the second season at the moment. She plays a forensic scientist working in the LAPD, and there are many questions as to the true mystery behind her character and identity. Without further ado, as I know it's something many people desire to hear, I bring to you the talented, amiable, beautiful Ella Lopez herself, Aimee Garcia. Hey, Aimee.
Hey.
I am absolutely privileged to be in your presence. You're such a social media superstar with Lucifer, and and Ella is an amazing character on Lucifer, so I think I'm going to be the envy of quite a lot of people by being able to chat to you today.
Oh, well, thank you. I have to be honest, as a comic book nerd myself, I'm very protective of families and characters, and so to be welcomed by the Lucifer family as the new kid, it's like being the new kid in school, and you're like, where do I sit in the cafeteria? And all of you have been so welcoming, and honestly, it's like the best. I've been giddy, so thank you guys, because she's a fun one. And I'm glad she's been, well received, because it'd be rough if it was otherwise.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah. Especially coming into season 2. I mean, before we even get kicked off, that's it. We've had season 1, which introduced the whole show and the whole characters to everybody. So then season 2 comes along. So it must have had some kind of intrepidation there of you coming into a show which had suddenly hit the ground and worldwide everyone was starting to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. My first experience that with Dexter, it was such an iconic show all over the world. And then once again, you're the new kid and you're like, oh man, how are people going to receive her? But Lucifer fans are so fervent. They're part of the show. I mean, to me, it's not like viewers and actors. I think that they're very much part of the show, to the point where I won't give too much away, but there's a character that comes in an episode that hasn't aired yet, and I have a scene with them, and I said, oh my God, I love them. And they said, well, we'll see how the fans receive this character. So just so you know,
cool.
Our writers and our bosses very much pay attention to how a character is received. So I'm like, oh man, Lucifer fans are so vocal. How are they gonna respond to Ella? But I think that someone said the other day that she's the avatar for the fans, and she's kind of like she's kind of them in those situations. Yeah. So I think she says what everyone else is saying. If she's in the middle of Chloe and Lucifer, she's like, just make out already. That's like one of her lines in a future episode. I feel like that's what every Decker Star fan is thinking. They're like, just kiss. You guys are perfect for each other. But I feel lucky enough that Ella gets to actually say it to them and make them even more awkward. So it's such a fun thing to be like a conduit for the fans, and I couldn't be more excited. I literally have like a grin whenever I talk about her. So
I can vouch for that. You've just not stopped smiling since you started chatting.
I know. I really, like I said, I've never seen a character on TV who can pick a lock and speak Klingon. Yeah. Like, to me, she does those two things and everything in between, and how fun, It's just been a blast. So thank you guys for letting the new kid in school sit with you guys in the cafeteria. Greatly appreciated.
So you've just done the Vulcan symbol as well, everyone, because no one can see this now apart from me. So yeah, not only do you speak Klingon, you can. I can't do it. I can't do the Vulcan.
You can't do it.
I can't do it. I have to literally put my finger through the middle and then.
Oh no! Oh yeah!
I just haven't got.
I've been training with that since my dad's like a huge Star Trek and Star Wars, but I think more Star Trek. So I think since the age of 6, I had to learn that.
My uncle always tried to get me to do it, but I just never got the knack. Excellent. I mean, I've got a question I was going to leave to the end, but it kind of fits where we were just talking about there, is that social media does play a huge part in modern society today, and you and the other cast members are amazing at reaching out to the fans. Do you believe in that helps to make the show more successful? We've already kind of touched on it in that respect.
Oh, definitely. I think that, you know, we're the kind of show that, you know, we didn't have, like, household names headlining the show. Mm-hmm. We're actually just got a People's Choice nomination, and if you look at the other shows that we're up against, we're the only show with a supernatural element, right? It's like NCIS, Criminal Minds, SVU, The Blacklist, and Lucifer. So we're the new kid in that respect, and I think that it says it's People's Choice. You know, we got a People's Choice nomination because the people spoke, and I think that this show is so unique because I think that the fans have really responded to the fact that the comic book fans love that he's a fallen angel and love that there's demons and angels and celestial beings, but also people who aren't necessarily genre fans really respond to the family dynamics of being, you know, having to deal with sibling rivalry, having mom issues, having dad issues, having broken hearts, having to deal with exes. That's such a universal thing that you don't have to be in the world of angels and demons to know what it's like to have a broken heart or feel left out. That's something that's just human. Or even an underdog. I feel like in the same way that people rooted for Dexter, like you should not be rooting for a serial killer. No. You definitely shouldn't be rooting for the devil. But because Tom is so contagiously charming and so witty and fun, you really almost see him as like an underdog, you know, as this person or this devil or this being that's been abandoned by someone he loved. And I think that anyone who is a comic book fan, I feel like we all kind of feel like fish out of water sometimes, you know what I mean? And that's what I love about like Peter Parker. Like I call Ella the female Peter Parker because you never really see girls in that world be kind of goofy.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So I think that on social media, guys and girls have kind of responded to the wide versatility that Lucifer has to offer. Yeah. And then more specifically, I think that the reason Ella has become more present in the show is because of the fans. I mean, really, you know, she tells cause of death and she's like, external exsanguination from the carotid, and she out, you know, but I think it's because people love that she's not self-conscious, love that sometimes she has egg in her face, love that she says what fans wish they could say. I think that she's been really well received, and now she's out with Dan on the field. She's expanding her, not only in the lab, but detective instinct. So I really think that fans are like a writer in the show. And I kind of want them to feel that they're empowered. And our Lucifer writers are very, very active on social media. You know, each of the writers have their own Twitter account. So it's really a special show that has mass commercial appeal. But nerds rule, man. And I feel like it's nice to just have your voice heard. And we would not have gotten a 22 episode order because we're kind of like I said, we're not like a big sexy show, and it's all because of the fans and social media.
Yeah, no, that's great. Fantastic answer as well. Thanks. And I'll vouch for the fact that you have not stopped smiling the entire time you were talking about that, so you can just see the love and passion that you have for the role. It's great. Aww. I was going to say as well, with Lucifer, it's just a dysfunctional family with a celestial view behind them. And it was, I mean, I think season 1 was the great side. Obviously season 2 is coming into, obviously we've seen it more and more, is the discussions that it's brought up as well. I mean, it's the fact that obviously between the likes of Lucifer and Amenadiel, for example, you've got Lucifer, the devil, comes from hell, you know, the epitome of all evil. Then you've got Amenadiel, who's an angel. Now, when Lucifer comes to Earth and starts dabbling with earthly things, he finds love, compassion, he finds peace, inner peace with himself. Amenadiel comes down and he falls. And it's like a complete reversal of role reversal. It's like, you know, when the bad comes to Earth, he finds the good, and the good is twisted by earthly habits. And it's that twist of the whole scenario, and obviously that's carried on with season 2 with you, coming in with your forensic science parts and the snippy comments, which are hilarious. They really are. It's brilliant, and it's just no filter. It's just exactly. It's just a fantastic whole experience, I think, and that's what makes it successful.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think what I love about this show is that the writers aren't scared for the characters to grow and for the characters to change. And they don't keep all the characters in little boxes, right? Everyone, like you mentioned, Lucifer came in really spectacle of human beings. He almost had the same outlook as Trisha Helford's character.
Yeah.
You know, he thought of them as confusing and inconsistent and really pointless.
Yeah.
And then he grew to almost understand compassion and almost ended up acquiring the good qualities of humanity, of empathy, right?
Yeah,
something
exactly.
that the devil would have. And then with Amenadiel, him just losing his wings is so heartbreaking when he was really the moral compass of the show, right? So he was very clear where his North Star was. He was very clear about what was good and evil. And as the episodes go on, he's thinking, wow, I'm just a pawn on the chessboard for my dad.
Yeah.
I've lost my sense of purpose, you know, and you see that also with Maze, where she's trying to figure out, she's like, well, crap, we're not going home anytime soon.
Yeah.
I might as well, you know, pick up a human job like a bounty hunter. So I think that every character is almost flawed. And even Detective Dan, you know, in the last episode, we start seeing his darker side where he isn't just so clean-cut detective douche. You know, when Maze makes that comment at the end, like, I didn't think you had it in you. So
yeah, exactly.
So I like that. And then Ella is still bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And what I like about her is she, in the same way that Jamie was that in the Dexter underworld, I feel like Ella has no issues with God. You know, she's like kind of the light in this almost dark world, and you need both, right? Everyone's losing their shit, and Ella's just like, you know, speaking Klingon. So I think it's nice to see that. But yeah, what I love about this show too, and you kind of touched on it, was the fact that once you get to know someone, you realize that really everyone is the same. Yeah. And especially now in this world of division and so much craziness, I think what I love about Lucifer coming to Earth is even someone like the devil, even someone who was, you know, king of the underworld, of the Silver City, is able to empathize and see and bring out the good in humanity. So in a way, I feel like a show like this can inspire all of us to think, if the devil can do it, well, crap, so can we. Yeah. So it's a multi-level show that I think is, you're right, the reason that it's become kind of this underground hit that's starting to become not so underground. Well,
yeah, exactly. This is becoming much more mainstream now, and you know, the fan base is so loyal. I mean, I'm active. There's so much goes on, and the problem I've got, I'll say the problem I have for it is, it's not a problem. It's just the fact that because obviously being in the UK, we get it 24 hours later. So I have to. So that's why I can't be as active, because when you guys are out live tweeting, I'm sitting there with blinkers on, going, I can't. I've got to wait.
Oh, right, I know. I'm trying not to give too much away. I've
seen it all. I'm up to date now, though. I've seen it for last night's episode. I'm up to date with. And I was on the edge of my seat going, no, at the end of it.
I know. And that's the thing, too. Like, I think when you see these scenes, right, with Lauren and Tom, they really are amazing actors. I mean, they are, let me tell you, as someone who's on set, and I basically just come in and cause shenanigans, you know, I hope, as tired as Tom is, I will literally see him and bulldoze him. Like, I will run and jump on him, and I'll just like hug him for days. You know what I mean? And I know he's super tired, but he'll like play with me all the time. And even though Lauren's super tired and she's not one to like take pictures or take selfies, I always weasel her into making fun videos with me on the side. And as tired as they are, they're so respectful of each other, and they're so good together. And when I was watching last night's episode, I thought, these are two actors who are basically movie stars doing TV, and their scenes, like in network television, you don't have the luxury of cable, you know, 55 minutes or film that's 2 hours. So these actors have to, in one look, tell the story of love and make you say no and make you root for them and make you pissed off when Lucifer stands up Chloe. And I feel like for people, they're such good actors that they're able to elicit emotions out of us in very little time. Like, they don't have the time that someone on a cable show or someone in a movie has. And that's a testament to how they can tell so much with just one look. And it like